G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Today actually marks a bit of a momentous occasion for me because this is the first opportunity I've had to actually respond back to a comment from a previous video. The comment came from the video where I was comparing different ND filters for motion blur, and YouTube user Jody McAllister made the comment that would a PL filter help with getting rid of some of the glare when the drone is pointing directly at the sun. So I thought, what better opportunity to actually get some engagement with people watching my videos to give it a bit of a test. So I'm back at the same spot. It's not quite the same conditions. There's a little bit of cloud, so we might have to sort of dodge the clouds and look for the sun as it is right now, poking in between the clouds, and see if I can get a fair comparison. First one will be the standard CPL, so no ND, no neutral density. This is just a polarization filter, and then we'll try an ND8, see if that changes things, and then we'll max it out with an ND64 filter, and we'll try sort of moving that rotational wheel around to see if polarization makes any difference at all to the glare from the sun when you're pointing directly at it. Okay, so we have a break in the clouds. We're operating at 4K 25, no ND filter. This is the drone just on full auto settings. Let's see what glare we get. Okay, you can see in that top left hand corner there's already a little bit of glare on the screen. And here you can see the glare is quite significant as we head straight towards the sun. Again, that's no filter at all. Okay, so I'll just bring her back quickly and we'll run with the CPL filter. Okay, we now have the CPL filter on. Again, no neutral density filtration going on here, so this is still running at 4K 25 in full auto settings. I'm going to take the same route and see if any difference can be seen with a standard CPL filter. Still a bit of glare. Is it any different than the previous video? Please let me know, see what you think. Okay, we're back in the shade of the mountain. So I'll bring her back home and we'll try the next filter. We're now running an ND8 filter, so I'm going to switch it into manual mode and put it down to 1/50 to give us the 180 degree rule, running at 25 frames per second. It's probably still a little overexposed, but let's see how we go. Okay, let's get up with the ND8 filter. You can see quite a lot of glare early on there. Yeah, there's a significant amount of glare when you fly in directly into the sun. Okay. Yeah. Let's bring her back and go with an ND64 circular polarizing filter. See if that makes any difference at all. Okay, so I've put an ND64 polarizing filter on. Now, with these freewells, if you see, you can actually change the amount of polarization by spinning the wheel. So at the moment, I've got the little marker on the wheel lined up with the little white mark on the edge of the filter. So we'll send it up like this and we'll see what it looks like, and then maybe we'll move them around a bit and see if it makes any difference. Now this, again, the ND64, this is the highest level of density filter you can get with the Freewell all day pack. Okay, let's send her up. As you can see, this is quite a bit darker, quite underexposed, but I think there's still a degree of glare there from the sun, and in fact it's really quite dark to see where you're flying. Hopefully I don't crash. Okay, I'm gonna turn that around and bring it back. So still some glare, even though we couldn't really see our surroundings. So I don't know if I'm doing this right, but what I do to check to see the amount of polarization that's taking place with these things is I actually sort of point them out into a light bit of the sky and just twist them, and you can see through your eyes which is the most amount of polarization and the least. So I'm now going to set this to what I think to be the least, and if we look at where that is in relation to where we had it before, the little white mark on the disc is probably around about 11 o'clock, something like that. So let's give this a go and see if there's any difference. Okay, so now we've got the ND64 circular polarizing filter on in what I think to be the least amount of polarization. See if it makes any difference. Still see some glare from the sun, and again it's just too dark to operate. So I think that this kind of tells me that even with the correct ND filter on, you're still going to get glare from the sun. Let's bring her home before I lose her. Alright, so tell me what you think. Do you think that polarizing filters have any effect on glare when heading directly into the sunshine? Certainly I think ND filters don't, ND filters themselves, and the whole point of them is not to affect the amount of light that we see when we adjust our camera settings correctly. They're just there to slow down shutter speed, nothing else. So I think, expecting a polarizing filter to be able to cut glare out when pointing directly at the sun is probably asking a bit too much. But were there any benefits? I'm not sure. I'll leave that up to you guys. If you do have any comments towards this video, please leave them below, because it helps me to grow as a content creator. I'll take positive or negative comments. Constructive criticism helps me to improve. I'd like to thank everybody that has subscribed to my channel so far. I've only been running it for a couple of 3 weeks, and I'm up to a very humble 42 subscribers. But to think that I was only at 2 or 3 a couple of weeks ago, everybody that does subscribe, I do very much appreciate it. And please leave your comments below to help me grow the channel even further. Interesting fact, 95% of the views that I get on my videos are from people that aren't subscribed. So I'm getting a couple 200-300 views per video. So if you do like it, then please consider subscribing. And thank you very much for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next video. Take care.